kids, and welcome to another exciting episode of Professor Favorite Explores Our World. Today we're going to talk about two types of energy, chemical energy and light energy. We will look at how we use each of these forms of energy in our world. We're also going to discuss how they're similar and how they're different, and if they're renewable or not. Please remember as we talk about chemical and light energy, what we learned from last week's episode, that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred from one form to another. Do you have a fireplace at home? Or maybe you've been camping and had a fire to roast marshmallows? Well, the wood in that campfire has potential chemical energy before it burns. Then, when it's burning in that fire, it is having a chemical reaction to the heat and the air in the atmosphere. That burning wood transfers to CO2, which is carbon dioxide, water vapor, and ash, and it gives us heat energy and light energy. What's chemical energy, you say? Well, chemical energy is the energy that is stored in the bonds of chemical compounds like atoms and molecules. It's potential energy, just waiting for a chemical reaction. Chemical reactions occur all over the place, including our bodies. Food has lots of potential energy inside it. When we eat that food, the chemical reaction happens. It changes the energy from potential energy to kinetic energy, which is what gives us the energy we need to go to school each day and to learn, and even to run around on the playground. Think of food as batteries for our bodies, just like batteries for a flashlight or fuel for a car. Speaking of batteries, did you know that real batteries that power our stuff have chemical potential energy inside? Yeah, they do. And when you flip the switch on that toy, it lights up or makes a noise. That's because the batteries need a connection to start the reaction needed to power the toy. That connection is the button on the toy or the light switch on the wall. And that brings us back to light energy. You might be wondering what light energy is. Well, it's a kind of kinetic energy and a form of electromagnetic radiation that's emitted by hot objects like burning wood or even the sun. Remember how we talked about the electromagnetic waves from the sun? Well, those light waves travel down to us in rays. These rays of light bounce off all the objects that we see, and it's called reflection. Light reflects off all the objects in our world, and we see those objects as different colored things because light either reflects or absorbs into the item. That color we see is the color that is reflected off, and all the other colors get absorbed. If that ray of light gets bent, like in a rain cloud or a prism, we call it refraction. When this happens, we see all the colors that make up the white light of the sun as a rainbow. It's because light waves travel at different speeds, and when they collide with an object, the molecules of that object slow down the light rays, and each color is shown individually. Pretty cool, huh? Now, the difference between the two forms of energy is that chemical energy is potential energy until there's a reaction. Light energy is a form of kinetic energy, and they're similar because both are forms of energy that can be converted into other forms of energy through a chemical reaction or interaction with matter, like in photosynthesis that we see in plants. Did you know that the light energy from the sun is produced as a result of a chemical reaction called nuclear fusion? Yeah. Anyway, that's another show. Where were we? Oh yeah, are they renewable? Well, chemical energy is not renewable because the energy gets converted into a different kind of energy during the reaction. But light energy is renewable. Think of the sun. We will always have light energy from the sun every day. I mean, unless you live at one of the poles of the earth, then you have 6 months of nighttime for one part of the year and 6 months of daylight for the other part. But that's another show too. Anyway, thanks for watching. Now it's your turn. Go out and explore our world.